attention to for Tanya and Wendy now on Shortland Street.
I know it's nearly Christmas, the booking is going to be crazy and everything, but I don't care. I just want us to be married.
What? You keep talking about our future and how much he loves me.
He's probably faking it.
We're in love. Madly in love.
Jane's been explaining some things to me.
At last, we're alone. Thanks to your rudeness. For Pete's sake, Gerald will drive anyone to drink with his yabbering. He is a good friend. You don't need a friend, you need a man. Speaking of which, I want to hear about this TK and how he broke your heart. Who said that he broke... Gerald. For once, he had something useful to say. Well, he shouldn't have. It's none of his business. So what happened? Some floozy steal him away? No. He went back to his wife? No. Well, then what? I wasn't good enough for him. Oh, Brookie. You're more than good enough. You're practically going for a sainthood. Hardly. Why do you say these things? Oh, your father's got a lot to answer for. And so have I. This has got nothing to do with you. The minute your father left, what did I do? I took up with a replacement just as useless as your father. A couple of good ones I let get away. What sort of an example is that for a teenage girl? Well, I'm an adult. You're not responsible for my... Well, why else do you seek out dysfunctional men? TK is not dysfunctional. He is the most He's perfect, isn't he? Oh, my poor darling.
Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks, Sarah.
She twisted your arm. It's just Eileen's an old lady. She can't stand up for herself. In fact, she can barely stand up at all.
Just wanted to confirm our splenectomy is 11th. Second opinion time, is it?
It's not against the law, is it?
Not at all. Well, the situation's not great, but she is stable. There's no obvious deterioration in the last 12 months.
This is a good woman. Someone who's spent her whole life helping people.
I know the system isn't perfect, but we have to...
She's been waiting 18 months. It's a miserable life for her, barely mobile and in pain.
What's her T-score?
Negative 1.2. She's got moderate joint space narrowing with some visible osteophytes, but no subluxation or subchondral cyst formation.
I'm sorry, but given the evidence, I have to agree with Isaac.
I see.
I'll do all I can to make sure she's comfortable.
Thank you. And thanks for taking a look.
Just seeing them together made me feel like being sick.
You have to look after yourself from now on, okay?
What's the matter? Has Kieran taken a turn for the worse?
In a manner of speaking.
How?
Apparently he's involved with a staff member of his called Jane.
Oh, her.
You knew?
Well, yeah.
Well, she's practicing her bedside manner on him now. Evil witch.
How's his memory?
Well, he remembered how to hurt me. What more does he need to know?
The council is sending someone round to check the roof.
What roof?
The surgeries. Those leaks we found last week, apparently they had a complaint.
From who? The patients won't know about them?
No, but the people who work there do.
Wendy dobbed us in.
Ruben.
Ruben? Oh, yeah, that'll be right. So what, we have to shut up shop?
Until it's sorted.
You paged?
Yeah. Elderly female fell down some steps, fractured the neck of her right femur.
Thanks.
There you are, Mrs. Hatfield. You should be feeling better shortly.
Eileen.
That's right.
Hey there, it's Isaac. I saw you yesterday. Don't try and talk. We'll do some x-rays. We'll get you off to the operating room to fix you up.
Any nausea? No. Any change in the memory loss? No, and will it stay like this, just nearly 6 months wiped out? Well, some head injuries can affect the mind's playback mechanism, if you like. Sometimes it's only interrupted for a few hours or days, but...
It can be permanent.
Well, sometimes it can be, but try not to worry about it because that's not likely to help. Okay.
How long will Kieran have to stay in hospital?
Well, physically, I'm happy with your progress. You should be able to be discharged in a few days. Okay, thanks, Chris.
And when would Kieran be able to fly?
Well, I think we better cross that bridge when we come to it. I would rebook any travel plans that you might have.
Nothing's booked yet, right?
No, but there are some great low fears at the moment, and you really need to get away from it all.
One thing at a time, eh?
Of course, Doctor. Thank you so much.
With the existing osteoporosis and now with the broken neck of femur, we may need to replace the whole joint.
Chris is letting you fly solo, huh?
To step up sometime.
Hello, Eileen. It's just me.
Don't worry, she's being well looked after.
Today?
Sorry?
What about yesterday? She wasn't well looked after then, was she?
I know you're upset, but Eileen fell. She had an accident.
Yeah, because she couldn't walk, because she needed a hip operation, which you wouldn't give her.
Yeah, that's enough.
Bumping her up the list would have been unfair.
More unfair than lying at the bottom of your steps in agony.
I can understand that this is upsetting for you, but...
Who do you think you are?
I'm Tanya, and I promise that we are taking the very best care of Mrs. Hatfield.
Don't talk to me like I'm some moron.
I don't mean to. If you wouldn't mind waiting down in the whānau room.
I'll take you.
It's all right. I'm going. I've got to go.
Try not to worry.
Hey, go easy on her.
She was out of line.
Yeah, she's under a lot of pressure and I'm not helping any. I'll explain later.
Kia ora, TK.
Kia ora.
Do you know this is my third time here this morning and there's never anyone available?
Oh, really?
Plus, I've just heard there's a huge pile-up on the motorway. In 10 minutes, this place will be packed. We'll be lucky to get in at all.
Look at you, back on the desk.
And with a smile for us all.
You okay? Really?
Every time I see that uniform, I flinch.
Of course.
But then a little voice says, get on with it, Bonnie.
All right, then. Get on with it, Bonnie.
Okay, what have we got?
Oh, that's strange. We had a mum and a little girl there, but they've disappeared.
Time for a coffee then?
My shout.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
My apologies, TK. I assumed you two knew each other.
No, my apologies. I'm Annette Freeman, Brooke's mother. We need a wee chat.
Thank you. You two know we broke up?
Of course. I'm just curious as to why. Brooke speaks so highly of you, and I understand there wasn't anyone else involved.
No.
So what, then?
I don't feel this is something I should be discussing.
I mean, the problem can hardly have been you. You're obviously charming and extremely handsome.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Freeman. I have to get back to work. Thank you for the coffee, though.
Call me Annette. And if you wouldn't mind, there is something I wanted to say, and it's important. It's about the way Brooke was brought up. She probably told you that my separation from her father was extremely acrimonious.
She did mention something.
And that I have struggled somewhat with an alcohol problem.
Right.
Which has led me into some destructive and unhealthy associations. My point being, Brooke has not had a good role model.
And you're worried about it?
Yes. I feel that my behavior has made my daughter cynical about men and prone to sabotaging potential relationships.
I see.
You do?
Yeah, it certainly explains a few things. But, don't let it worry you. Brooke has issues, but she's working on them. I think you should be proud of her.
Really?
Yeah, any problems she has from the past, they can all be fixed. But don't be too hard on yourself. She might be doing better than you think.
I thought Gerald would never leave.
Seems he's one of the few friends I do have around here.
You got me. That's all you need.
I suppose.
And we'll make new friends together in Thailand.
Jane. About selling the IV, I'm not sure I'm ready to do that.
We've been through this, darling. Before your accident, you were absolutely over it.
I was.
Yeah, you were moaning about it like a stuck record.
I put a hell of a lot of work into that business, not to mention the cafeteria contract.
All the more reason to sell up and enjoy the profits. And if you miss it, open another bar in Koh Samui or Phuket. I'll help
Listen,
you.
last time I was in Thailand, I made some people very unhappy. Some very dangerous people.
Somewhere else, then. The world's our oyster. We're great together, that's why. An unbeatable team.
What makes you so sure?
Isn't that obvious? Your brains and my looks. No one's a match for us, Kieran. Well, we proved that with Henry and his racehorse.
Who's Henry?
Just someone who was trying to rip us off and failed because we were way too smart for him.
There she is. One fractured off.
It's nasty.
Yep.
Will the plate and screws be enough?
No, I don't think so. Okay, team, listen up. We're going for a total replacement.
All right, then.
I need you to prep the acrylic cement. As for you, Eileen, you just have a nice rest while we sort you out a brand new hip.
You went to see him?
Yes. And what a gorgeous man. And once you saw what he looked like, you left? Of course not. We went for coffee. Now, don't get all defensive. He was perfectly sweet. What did you talk about? You, of course. Oh, good grief. I don't know what all this huffing and sighing was about. He was singing your praises.
Whatever he said, he was being polite. That's what he's like.
No, this was sincere.
Hi.
Again, that's what he's like. Polite and sincere. Now, do you want to hear what he had to say or not? It's so obvious he cares about you. He said that he understood your past.
You didn't.
And that he felt you were open to working on any issues the two of you might have had.
He said that?
More or less.
Is this TK?
Of course.
He's a lovely man, and he's hardly going to badmouth you to your mother.
On the contrary, he was most complimentary.
If you think that he wants to get back together with you, then you're mad.
How can you possibly know that? Were you there? Did you hear what he had to say?
I don't have to be. I know TK, and I know he's not stupid. And I'm sorry, but you guys broke up for a very good reason.
But what if he's had a change of heart?
Brooke, don't do this to yourself. Otherwise, you know what will happen to your heart. Ouchie.
You gave us a terrible fright.
Did I?
Of course, we were beside ourselves.
I'm sorry.
Now, don't want you worrying about the house. Murray's put the rubbish out and the kids are feeding the cats. It's all under control.
Oh, I'm such a nuisance.
Not at all. And I've rung Pat and Belclutha. She said they'll be up as soon as they can get a flight.
Oh, they don't need to do that.
But they want to. I brought some of your clothes and some scorched almonds.
Thank you. Have you got my cardie?
It was the first thing I grabbed.
Do you think I could have it now?
In bed?
Well, I'm a bit shivery.
Of course. Her temperature's up.
Good morning, Mrs. Hatfield.
She's pale and sweaty. I think she's got an infection.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Wendy.
Right. Well, if you don't mind, Wendy, Mrs. Hatfield...
Don't get your back up. I'm a nurse too.
That's fine. But Mrs. Hatfield's fever has already been noted. That's why I'm here to take some blood and give you some paracetamol. And
She's
then
not
Ray...
well. She should be in her own room.
And then Ray here will move you to a single room. How does it sound?
Oh, whatever you say.
Excellent. Looks like they know what they're doing.
I guess I'd better let you get some rest. Can't be here 24/7, I suppose. Bye, darling. I'll be back soon.
Point taken.
Sorry?
Point taken, what's that mean?
I've no idea. Nothing.
No, what does it mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's a horse, a brown horse in a stable.
You need to rest.
Henry's racehorse. I was buying with Maxwell and Isaac.
You're hurting my wrist.
You were blackmailing me.
Oh, that's rubbish. I would never do that.
Yes, you would.
And what would I be blackmailing you about? Oh, cat got your tongue, huh? It's better not to remember some things, isn't it?
Get out.
I know what you did, and I love you in spite of it.
Just go.
That's why you have to come with me. There's nothing for you here.
Yeah, that's what you said when you attacked me.
You attacked me.
That's not the way the police will see it.
I still have the tape with your brother singing like a canary.
Yeah, right, the tape. Don't even bother going there.
You're going to lose everything.
Cold comfort to you in a prison cell. Shall I get Nicole to call the police?
Right. I'm going. But you've just made the worst decision of your life. You're so gonna regret this. I've done bloods.
What about a temperature?
38.4.
Do you know Eileen's got an infection?
Just getting an update now.
When you get the blood results back, I'd like to see them. I'm also keen to know whether the right procedure was followed with the dressing changes.
Our nurses are meticulous.
Things get busy. Accidents happen.
And our infection protocols are strict and fully up to date.
Well, obviously Eileen's caught something from somewhere.
We're scrupulous about maintaining
What
a
about
clean-
MRSA or E. coli? They can be rife in hospitals.
I don't mean to be rude, but how long since you've worked in a ward?
15 years, give or take.
Right. Well, I can tell you a lot has changed in that
The
amount of
point is, Mrs. Hatfield's health is our top priority. We'll be doing all we can for her.
Good. Because I've got to go to work now, and I don't want to come back and find her in a worse state.
Settle.
Your message said you wanted something.
I need you to talk Sophie into coming to see me again.
Oh, yeah, I'll pencil it in straight after my ski trip to hell.
Please, Gerald, I don't know how else to ask.
Karen, she hates you. Especially after that little chat with her replacement.
She was never Sophie's replacement.
Oh, really? Looked like that to me. Two blondes don't make a right, you know.
Please just do it.
I'm not sure about the wisdom of eating lunch in a bar.
Nonsense. The food is delicious.
That's not what I meant.
TK.
Hey.
How lovely to see you. Would you care to join us?
No, thank you. I'm just picking up some takeaways.
Please don't do that.
I'm just being polite.
No, you're not. You're trying to set us up, and it's not going to work.
That's just Gerald getting to you.
He's right.
Don't be naive. It's obvious what's going on.
What?
He doesn't want to lose his fag hag.
Mum?
For heaven's sake, I'm not saying that having a gay friend can't be fun. Just don't let him ruin any chance of happiness.
First of all, Gerald isn't gay.
Oh, please.
Secondly, he is genuinely concerned about me.
And I'm not.
Long lunch?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a good idea. It's nice for you both to have some family time.
See? See what?
Have you heard from the Bureau?
They've already sent someone over.
Someone isn't one nurse.
Believe me, I'm trying for more.
Well, try harder. Please, we're flat out and I'm starving.
Well, you're not going to be pleased to hear this then. You need to supervise the bureau nurse.
Great. A nurse that doesn't know what they're doing. Just what I need.
She's just a little rusty.
I've checked Eileen. She's doing fine.
I know.
Well, no complaints this afternoon?
Not really.
You two have met already?
Hmm?
That makes things easier.
What?
Wendy's your new nurse. Tanya will be looking after you today. Don't worry, she doesn't bite much.
Gerald came round this morning to talk to Sophie.
She said no.
He tried hard. She wants to know what's left to be said.
Last time she was here, I didn't know what was true and what wasn't. But I do now. All I need is a chance to talk to her properly.
And Jane?
I've gone for good, a mistake that should never have happened.
There's been a lot of those.
I want to apologize to her for the things I've done. Can you please just tell her that?
You can tell her yourself.
Thank you for coming.
Just say what you have to say.
I'm ashamed.
I've remembered all the things I've done. Terrible things. I've remembered how badly I treated you, and I want you to know how deeply sorry I am.
Is that it?
If there was another operation I could have, one which erased all the things I've done, one which erased all the guilt I feel, then I'd take it. I'd do anything to go back to a time before I hurt you. I'd do anything to have you as my wife again.
Jane's seen through you, has she?
She was using me from the start, conning me. All she ever wanted was money.
Perfect match then, and I think I've heard all I need to.
Please, Sophie. Nothing in my life matters without you. All I'm asking for is a chance to earn your forgiveness. I know I don't deserve it. But I can't live without you.
But you can't change the past. You can't change what you've done and who you are. And we were so happy once, but we can't.
Right, start explaining.
Well, hang on, what are we talking about?
Your little friend, the patient advocate from hell, telling me how to do my job, how to clean my ward.
Wendy.
Yeah, bloody Wendy. Guess who's got to hold her hand for the rest of the day?
Well, hang on, we still talking about bloody Wendy?
Yes, and how do you know her?
She's a nurse at Sarah's clinic.
And didn't Sarah fire her?
No, we had to cut back her hours, and now we're both feeling really stink about it because her husband's not putting in the cash, and she's got 3 kids to feed, and she's been running around after Eileen.
Well, she can stop worrying about her for a start. Okay, I've got Eileen covered.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you two got off on the wrong foot. Sarah thinks the world of it.
Yeah, well, she would, wouldn't she? Well, I'm sorry, I just don't see it. And I suppose that makes me a really horrible...
Hey. No tears.
What did you do that for?
Well, Shortland Street continues on Bank Holiday Monday at the slightly later time of 12 o'clock. Well, later this afternoon, Duncan takes a look at the native trees that line the country's waterways. Eco Eye is at 20 to 4. Back to This Morning, and Doctors is next.